Gloomy Goblin wants to know, and this is another down the road question. Do you think a resource-based economy will be the next step?
A resource-based economy.
Mm-hmm.
What in terms of which resources? Natural resources?
Well, I think they're saying that, you know, when eventually the monetary system will become obsolete, do you think a resource-based economy would be next? This is, again, is a time down the road question. The way I would answer that question, I think that, and they specified here all resources, I think we're going to go more barter next. I think that's going to be something that, because that's already happening. There's like a thing in Bellingham, Washington, where they do, it's called like Green Corner or something like that, where they have like a really well-organized barter system. You see actual libertarians who I don't agree with often, but, you know, some things we do see eye to eye on. And that's one thing that they do a lot. They have organized like bartering systems going on. So my answer to that question would be, I think bartering is going to eventually be a thing. But what are your thoughts? Do you think it'll be a resource-based economy?
No, only because, again, when you study civilized history or the history of civilizations, we almost always seem to arrive back at currency, right? I don't think that...
Well, what I'm saying is I want you to invest in my basil farm. I have a really good basil farm, and this is a big opportunity for you, Kevin. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Please go on with your answer.
Everybody at home, if you're making pesto, you have to blanch your basil first. It keeps it green. It's very good. All right. I love it. But again, I think the internet allows people to do this. I think you're seeing the millennial generation in particular return to artisan crafts, to farming, to urban gardens, and a lot of different things that we can do this. We can barter in a more conventional manner. People ask me all the time about Bitcoin because I'm in the finance world. And look, I understand the altruistic idea behind it and freeing yourself from the machine and whatever else, but it is so ripe for black market activity and everything else as well, which is why North Korea and everybody else has been so involved in it. So currencies are always one of those tricky situations. I mean, the founding fathers had to deal with it because originally every colony had its own currency. I think we can barter. I don't think we have to replace the entire system, nor do I think we're going to.
Well, yeah, I mean, we already are. You're absolutely right. I mean, and again, it's kind of like a more like big picture philosophical question, and there's some more nitty-gritty policy questions too, don't worry. But I just think that's, I mean, it's hard to think about because we used to just have a gift-based economy. Like there were many times in human history where we would just kind of share, you know. We also killed each other all the time. I mean, it's not like that was a perfect society. But I'm just saying it's hard to think about because as long as we've been alive, obviously we've lived in a monetary system, but that's just a blip in human history. And, you know, it's sometimes when you think about that, that's hard to wrap your head around.
I mean, even the Fertile Crescent, first civilizations developed currency, didn't they? I mean, I think the Incans were all barter-based. I mean, that was a pretty massive empire to not have a currency, but most civilizations create a currency. It's just kind of one of those things.
Yeah, most civilizations that, yeah, I mean, that we know and that, like, in the recent couple thousand years, yeah. But, I mean, just when you look at, like, the history of this planet, it's pretty crazy. Unless you think the Earth is 6,000 years old, in which case, you know, that's a whole other can of worms.
Is it older?
I don't know. We'll have to... Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.